Hello, hello, hello. Yes, we are back. And some unknown reason, I'm a little bit low. Let's adjust the camera a bit. We haven't used it in, 3 months now? Let's adjust it. There we go. That's better. I'm framed in the middle. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Yes, F1 is back, baby. Yes. But is it just going to be a circus? As the title of this stream says, I think it's going to be a huge circus. Right. Let's get the most important thing up. The chat. The chat. Where is the chat? Oh, there's the chat. There's the chat. Hello, Shane. Welcome to the stream. Thank you, mate. Yes, I am here. Only for a little while. I've had a few medical emergencies this last week, so yeah. But I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. Don't worry. Hello, Mr. Rugara. Welcome to the stream. Okay, getting back into it. Yes, getting back into it. Hello, Real Sporting Perspective. Not this Hookster again. It should be C First Bolt Action, where we see a property. That's right. I agree. I totally agree. The legend Shane Coburn kicked. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Hello, Mr. Plynall Plessy. Welcome to the stream. Congratulations to Oscar Piastri on winning the Australian Grand Prix. Yes, indeed. Well, one thing's for sure. We won't be seeing Aston Martin winning the Australian Grand Prix, are we? Oh, my God. What a shit show. What an absolute shit show. I honestly couldn't believe what I was seeing. I thought, is this a joke? I thought, are Aston Martin actually trolling us? Is that what they're doing? Are they going to come out on Saturday and put in pole position times and then win the race on Sundays? That's what it is. Because I'm thinking to myself, that's got to be what it is. Because surely, this couldn't have happened. Not for the second time for Honda since 2015 when they come out with the disastrous, as Fernando put it, GP2 engine. Surely you can't make the same mistake twice. Oh, as John McClane said in Die Hard 2, how can the same shit happen to the same guy twice? And I think Fernando Alonso must be thinking that right now. How can the same thing happen to me twice in my career? Yes. I mean, don't forget, he wasn't even driving a Honda last year. So you can't really blame Alonso. It's the team that's now gone to Honda, not Alonso. And, yeah. It's not looking good. Not looking good. You calling me a legend? Yes. Jerry, whatever her last name is on top of the pops again tomorrow. Just had her first solo hit that was called Look at Me. Oh, Jerry Halliwell. Jerry Horner. Well, probably be back to Halliwell soon. Who knows? Who knows? Looking forward to the Australian Grand Prix this weekend. Yes, me too as well, Shane. I am looking forward to it. Unfortunately, not for good reasons, because I think it's going to be a great disaster. A great disaster. It really is. Yes. We've got the Aston Martin problems, which I've already mentioned in a video, where they're not even going to be allowed to have full power on their engines. So obviously they're going to be right at the back of the grid, probably joining, I don't know, whoever's going to be at the back of the grid. It could be Audi, could be Cadillac, who knows who has got the slowest performance at the moment. We'll find out over the weekend, but the Aston Martin will be with them. It's a dead cert, because if they can't use the full engine power, they are not going to be up there, are they? So they'll be down the bottom. And of course, will they even be able to finish a race? It looks highly doubtful. As I said in my video, they have to complete 3 laps to be classified as turning up for the event. So yeah, they got to do 3 laps. But after that, it's anybody's guess. Anybody's guess. No Australian has ever been on the podium at Australia. Wow, really? I didn't know that. Not even the great man himself, Mr. Alan Jones. Wowzers. Alonso will retire, I feel. I think you're right. I think you're right. Oh, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, this is Matthew D'Souza, who's the real Sporty Perspective. Okay, we haven't got a new guy. This is Matthew D'Souza. He's just changed his YouTube name, so that he is the one that's in this chat. Just in case you're wondering who it is. And yes, I agree with you. I think Fernando Alonso will retire at the end of the year because let's face it, he's 45 years old. No other team on the grid is going to take on a 45-year-old. Just no way. No way. So he's only got one option now left to him. Unfortunately, age has finally beaten Fernando Alonso, and his only other option is to retire. He hasn't got anything else because, like I say, no one's going to take him on at 45 years old in any team whatsoever. Not even if they were desperate, I don't think they'd take him on. And you can see why. Have you heard the F1 26 DLC has been delayed, Dave? There are some videos on YouTube about it. I did not know that, Shane. I will have to go and have a look at that in a moment. The Astons won't last 30 laps if rumours are true. Yeah, that's the rumours. Severe vibration, apparently. Now, Adrian Newey says it's nothing to do with the chassis. Yeah, so Adrian Newey is in the clear. It's all Honda's fault with the engine. But I'm not technically minded whatsoever. But I do believe you have the engine as the starting block of your car, and you build the chassis around that engine. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah. You don't build the chassis and then shoehorn the engine into it afterwards, do you? No, you have the engine that sits there on the table that they have before they start work, don't they? That sits there first, and then you build that chassis around the engine. So to say that it's not the chassis' fault is a little bit of sandbagging, I think. Yes, I would say the blame has to be spread equally between everyone. I think it's everyone's fault that the vibration has come about. You can't start pinning the blame on Honda, as I say, just because, you don't want people to start blaming you for your chassis. That's my opinion anyway. I just don't subscribe to that theory that the chassis is fine and it's the engine that's the problem. Because, as I say, you build the chassis around the engine, or at least I'm pretty sure that's what you do. So we will see. Will there be a big gap in the field, says Matt, like the Hookster and his teammate? There could be a big gap. I'm not so sure there will be, because don't forget the engines and the cars are pretty much locked off. So yeah, you're going to have the usual field spread, i.e. the fastest cars are going to be up there and the slowest cars are going to be at the back. But as for huge gaps, I don't think there will be huge gaps. I think it'll be, pretty much the F1 norm, and the slowest cars will be about 2 seconds off the pace from the fastest ones. That's usually what happens. Of course, back in the good old days, that could be up to 10 seconds off the pace, but that's been tightened up over the years, and so it's usually about a couple of seconds difference between the top cars and the bottom cars. And I think that will probably continue, unless it's Aston Martin, of course, which might revert back to the 10 seconds slower. Oh dear. Oh dear. Will Lawrence Stroll quit Aston soon? I don't know. He owns the team. Doesn't he own the team? Is he the team owner, or is he just team principal? I can't remember. Let me look that up. Does Lawrence Stroll own Aston Martin? Yes, Canadian billionaire Lawrence Stroll is the executive chairman and largest shareholder of the Aston Martin Lagonda car company. So to answer your question there, Matt, he would have to sack himself, basically, because he is the owner. So he would have to sack himself, which could be a problem. So yeah. Hang on, I've just forgotten to do something. Dee 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 dee. There we go. Rectified. So yeah, he would have to sack himself, unfortunately. There's a video on YouTube that F127 could be open world. Wow, really? Really? Don't know that, Matt guy. No, me neither. Uzi. Fernando Alonso did some pretty epic things in Formula 1, to be fair. He did, yeah. I mean, you know, let's not take it away from him. World champion twice is pretty decent. Vettel is the last repeat winner at Australia in 2017 and 2018. That's the thing about Fernando Alonso. I think it's about time he announces retirement because he is 45 years old this year. Yeah, definitely. I think it's about time. And as I say, if the Aston Martin's going to be a disaster, no other team's going to take him on. So it would be better to just say this is my last season and I'm out, because he's not going to hang on into next year, because as we all know with Honda in 2015, it took them years to get that engine up to standard. And Fernando Alonso is just not going to want to go through all that pain again, finishing 15th, 12th and things like that. He's just, you know, he's just going to say, no, I've had enough now. I've had enough. 2012 and 06, Alonso respect. Yes. Aston team principal is Newey. That's right. Yeah, that's Newey, Adrian Newey. But as I say, yeah, Lawrence Stroll does own the team. So if he wants to get rid of himself, that could be a problem. Could be a problem. Plessy says, not looking good for Aston Martin. Didn't think it would be that bad. Me neither. I say in the video back in January that I was hoping they were going to be up there fighting with the big guys like the McLarens and the Ferraris. Whoopsie. Like most of my predictions, no, they never come true, but that's what I was hoping for. But of course, back then I didn't even imagine that they were going to have these kind of problems. Hello, Mr. Will F1. Welcome to the stream. He says Lewis Hamilton will still be washed up, I think. I think you're right. I think he could be a little bit better this year, but I still think, yeah, he's going to be washed up. But I think he's going to have a better year than last year for sure, because the car definitely looks better on paper anyway. We won't know until everything starts. But yeah, I think he'll have a better year. But yeah, compared to Charles Leclerc, congratulations on the marriage, by the way. Well done, Charlie boy. Compared to Charles Leclerc, I think that he will definitely still be quite far behind, I do believe. Yes. That was quite funny, actually. The Up to Speed podcast was talking about this, because Formula One announced like the new season, you know, the usual trailers that they do every year to announce that the new season of Formula One is coming out, and you know, to get excited all about. And apparently, according to the Up to Speed podcast, it had, I think, 1.6 million likes or something like that. And then Charles Leclerc announced his wedding, and all the photos and that went out, and that apparently got 2.6 million likes. So it just goes to show you these days that people are more interested in what happens outside of Formula One than actually Formula One itself, which is quite a sad reflection, but it is the truth. Aston Martin as well. I mean, Aston Martin will improve. Yeah, they will improve eventually. If they manage to get on top of that vibration issue, I think they will massively improve. But the vibration issue is a very serious one, because you just can't drive a car if you've got vibration going through your hands, because it just absolutely kills your hands. Really does. Yes, quite likely. But they think Hamilton will get his 8th. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so, to be honest. I think he will do better this year, but getting 8th championship, no. I think that boat has sailed quite a few years ago, to be fair. I'm also worried about the Australian Grand Prix this weekend. Despite I'm looking forward to it, it could be turned out to be a disaster. It could be. I'm only impatiently waiting because I think it's going to be a disaster, and I just can't wait to watch it unfold. And of course, it will make a great video on the following Monday as well, won't it? But yes, I think it is going to be a great disaster. I really do. The problem I'm having with it is I think it's going to be so far away from what we perceive as Formula One that we're probably all going to look at this. People that have watched Formula One for quite a few years, I'm saying 10 years at least, we're going to look at this and we're going to go, what? And be so dismayed at what is being presented to us that we may just give up. That's my fear. I've got this huge fear that's what's going to happen. But we will see. We will see. But it just at the moment seems so far away from traditional Formula One, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. I mean, I wasn't too bad with the hybrid era. Yeah, all right, it had to come in, but at least, 64-36 split on the engines. Engine 64-36 on the electrical. That wasn't too bad, but now we've got 50-50 splits on the engines, and we know in a couple of years' time, maybe 5 years' time, that's going to go in the reverse, and it's going to be like 64% battery power and 36% engine power, because that's what they're doing. They're slowly, over time, gradually phasing out the combustion engine part of the Formula One car. That's what they're slowly doing. You can see it's happening. We had 64% engine. Now we've only got 50% engine, and that is going to reverse in about the next 5 years to be more on the electrical part. We just know it's going to happen. But they're going to keep the engine just to keep everyone happy. But I don't know. Looking at it, I'm not impressed with what's going on, I have to say. And the fact that they keep running out of battery power down the straights doesn't look good either. That could be terrible for overtaking. It really could. But anyway, that's all. I'm surmising all of that. We'll have to wait and find out what happens. Will says, yeah, 8th in the championship standings. I like your style there, Will. I like your style there. Yes, 8th in the standings. They are deluded and living in 2018, sire. Yes. Hello, Mr. Hayden. Trophy works on the stream. He says, a circus. It's a fucking gong show. Yes, it is. It is. Definitely. It's, in fact, it's ended up worse than a circus. It's a carnival now, isn't it? I mean, it's got everything, hasn't it? It's got the dog-faced boy. It's got the man that turns into an animal. It's all there, isn't it? Really, let's face it. It's all there. Yes, it really is. It's just, oh my God. Will says this vibration is an excuse to an extent. I think, yeah, I think you're right, Will. I think you're right. I mean, if your car's not going very fast, how do you explain that? How do you explain that? You can't really, can you? But, oh, hang on a minute. Here's a reason why it's not going very fast. Because we've got a serious vibration issue. And that is slowing us down so we can't reach full speed. And we can't reach our full potential. So apart from that, if we didn't have the vibration issue, everything would be fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good excuse, isn't it? Good excuse. Yes. I'm not buying it. Now, yes, the vibration issue is huge. And vibration, going through the chassis and going through your own hands means it's a very serious vibration. It has to be. So I can understand that. But is it as bad as they're making out, or is this just an excuse because their engine is not up to spec? We will find out, no doubt. We will find out. I don't think if Lando Norris will win another championship, he almost lost the 2025 F1 title. Yeah, I think it will be a touch and go whether Lando wins this year, to be honest. I think there's a lot more competition than there was last year, so I think it'll be a hotly contested championship this year. Of course, we've got to see how the Red Bulls are doing. We're not quite sure whether they're going to be okay or not. Hello, Mr. Daniel, 7052. He says, hello, Dave. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing all right, mate. I'm doing all right. Lando Norris is never winning another championship, says Will. 2014, but much worse will be this season. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. It will be worse than 2014, definitely. Plumber Please says, some good news. No Danica on Sky F1 coverage this year. Yes! Wowzers. Well, thankfully, I never heard her because I don't get Sky. But I heard she was a pain in the backside, so bye-bye, Danica. Yes. Lance Stroll will be Lance Stroll. The FIA will be the FIA. You're quite right. You're quite right. I'm pretty sure it would be, to be honest. David Croft will have a good season. Yes, he will. I missed the Bahrain Grand Prix, being in the day. The reason it's now at night is because it's hot in Bahrain, like the 2005 Bahrain Grand Prix was the hottest race ever. Yes, indeed. He won't break a scream. Bahrain is better as a night race, to be honest. Yes, it is. I agree with you. That's a bit rough on Flavio. Yes. Yes. I was watching the 2000 F1 season review and they had ridiculous metal clanking sound effects whenever the cars made contact with each other and or crashed. Well, really? Really? I didn't know that. Alpine are Alpoo, says Will. Bahrain is good whenever, but I like mostly as like an evening-ish one. Like the first Bahrain Grand Prix at night was in 2014 to celebrate the race's 10th anniversary. Yes. Down goes Danica Patrick. Good. I've only seen some of her on Sky Sports F1 YouTube channel and she wasn't great. No. No. I don't think she was. So I'm glad she's gone. Williams and their Marks and Spencer's partnership. Yes. Love it. Alpoo. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube somewhere, but they would probably block the stream. Yes, they probably would. Yeah, you've done well there, Helium, says Mr. Regara. Right, so, ow. I just banged my microphone and my finger. So apparently the F1 26 DLC up has been delayed. Can't see anything, to be fair. Can't see anything. It says, while not officially delayed, speculation points to a late May or June 2026 release, possibly aligning with earlier updated schedules. Price is expected to be paid, not free expansion. Well, that's obvious. Not going to make that for nothing, are they? The new Madrid track might not be in the initial release, but may arrive later, with Imola potentially as a placeholder. The DLC will include the 2026 rule changes, new car models and the 11th team, likely Audi and Cadillac.
Who's that
Get Adrian Newey on the all seasons rubbish. Yes, I should do, shouldn't I? This year is the 10th anniversary of the first race in Azerbaijan. We just had to get someone to get a Waitrose sponsorship. Yes. Get Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, oops, on this all seasons. No. No, Will. No. In France, they need to make Paul Ricard a nice track. Yes. Get a sweary Eamon Holmes on this all seasons rubbish. Yes. Ocon will get sacked, I think. Possibly. Hasn't he signed until 2028 though? I'm not quite sure. I will look forward to F1 27. It's going to be an open world games as well as a racing game. Ricardo and Webber took everything good in that Red Bull seat when they left. Only Perez has found some of it since. They need to get one of the older tracks back. Paul Ricard was and always will be a terrible track. David Croft said he will be surprised if McLaren don't win the Constructors' Championship. He thinks that McLaren have the best driver lineup on the grid. Wowzers. I don't know, maybe they do. I know what I'm saying, they need to upgrade Paul Ricard so it looks like a nicer track. They really don't. Not even close. Right, we got a video here from Matt212. It was a month ago, but he's explaining that F126 isn't what you think it might be. Let's see what he has to say.
A different video today, of course. 2026, we're now almost at the end of January. F1's pre-season test, that definitely isn't a test, is currently going on. But for you and I, you know, the more game kind of orientated fans of the sport, our eyes now are firmly focused on, obviously, that F126 DLC that we're meant to be getting in a few months. So I've been getting loads of questions from you guys pretty much on every video or whenever I live stream, anything like that, asking about what I think is going to be in the DLC and obviously when it's going to arrive and everything like that. Now, number one, I have no inside information. Obviously, I work with EA, I work with coders, obviously, you know, on certain things, obviously with the games and things like that. This video has no insider information at all. I know nothing. As far as I gather, speaking to other content creators, basically nobody knows nothing at the moment, maybe with the exception of a couple of very popular guys within kind of the scene. But yeah, this video is just going to be my kind of guesses, predictions, anything like that. It might be quite fun to look back at in a couple of months as well. Quickly though, before we get into it, I just want to say as well, I want to make a video in a couple of weeks about ideas and things for F127 when that game releases as well, of course, next year. So if you guys have got any ideas that you would like to see in F127, let me know down in the comments below, because yeah, I kind of want to make a wish list video in the next couple of weeks, like I said. I've got a few ideas personally, but yeah, we'll obviously do that soon, so yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Now, I think a lot of people are hyping up this DLC. I'm kind of doing the opposite whenever I'm asked about it. I think people are massively overestimating what is going to be in this new update for F125. Obviously, F125, F126, it's the same at the end of the day. Get that meme of like Pam with those two pictures from The Office going, they're the same picture. I think, obviously, yes, you will get, livery updates. The cars will look different. I think obviously it's not called Mom anymore, but kind of the new override mode is going to work fairly similarly to DRS, I think, in this first iteration. I don't think they're going to make huge tweaks and changes to it. Ultimately, I think the cars will handle quite like the F125 cars as well inside the game. We're not going to see a completely different handling model or anything like that. Ultimately, people are kind of expecting this DLC to be massive and huge updates. If it was going to be massive and huge updates, they would release F126 as a separate game. The whole point is they want to spend more time to focus on F127. So this is going to be a lot more kind of basic, is my personal prediction. Of course, we will have all of the 22 cars, of course, that 11th team coming back with Cadillac. One big question I have, though, will my team still work? Will we end up then with a 24-car My Team grid? Because that would be really, really cool. Obviously, you basically go back to numbers that we haven't seen since 2012, if I remember correctly. So that would be really, really cool. Could that mean that open lobbies as well work with 24 drivers? Only time will tell. But yeah, that's one question I have immediately. In terms of release date, though, some people at the moment I've seen are predicting a release date at the end of April. I think it's going to be slightly later than that. Now, April would tie in with the end of, I think it's Season 6 of F1 World, if anybody cares about that. I don't know how many years I've been going on about F1 World now, but here we still are. I think the DLC will most likely come out either at the end of May or in June, to be honest. Just because, obviously, again, they won't want to kind of bring it out too early in the season. They'll want to get a bit of an idea about kind of the team's performance, relative to each other, everything like that. They want to have enough, obviously, races under...
God, he waffles. Blind me. Yeah, so basically he's saying what I was saying, that the DLC is just going to be that. It's just going to be the new cars and the liveries, and I don't think it's going to be anything else that's going to be added to it. So, there you go. We will find out, though, later in the year. He even says it'd be a bit like polishing a turd with Paul Ricard. Christ, what is it with that squeaky... Yes. Norris and Piastri complement each other in loads of ways. They race well, they're bottle jobs, they win championships, they annoy the crowd. It's perfect like Ed Sheeran. I like that. I like that. I would like Formula 1 to return to Magny Cores. Yes. Sheeran's hair camouflages into a McLaren. Great. Magny Cores wasn't a great track. It's in the middle of nowhere, but I still have it over Paul Ricard. I'm quite upset to hear that the F1 26 DLC won't include the Madring, which is the new street circuit added to this year's calendar. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. It might come out later in the year because that's what they usually do, don't they? But as Matt's just said in that video, they are concentrating on F1 27, so this DLC just isn't going to be all that, to be fair. I think it's just going to be the liveries, to be honest. The new cars and the liveries, and that's going to be it. I don't even know if it's even going to fit into a career mode structure, or whether it's just going to be the cars and the liveries and you can use them online. I don't know. Because it's going to be very difficult to fit it into a career mode structure, because that career mode's already set up for 2025. It's set up for the cars and everything else. It's not set up for 2026, so I just don't think they'll bother. I think they'll just give us the new cars and the new liveries and be done with it until 2027. Hello there, Mr. Scissor Sisters. Welcome to the stream. Magny Cores slightly, Paul Ricard. You've got me and Will swapping between streams. What? What other stream is running right now? Tell me, and I shall go and invade them. Tell me which stream you're looking at. The two greatest of all time swapping between streams. I really miss the Indian Grand Prix. Magny Cores is just as bad, if not worse, than Paul Ricard for racing. Yeah, that's why they need something of the older tracks. Yes. Come on, tell me what streams you're swapping between then. Come on, tell me. Tell me now. Tell me now. and I'll go and invade them. Tell them to stop. Tell me, which stream are you swapping between? Not going to tell me. Right, let's go to the F1 news. So there's lots of F1 news, obviously. And let's see what we got. Well, it's being dominated by Aston Martin. Schumacher doing a 4-stopper at Magny Cours, yes. So we've got from GP fans, Fernando Alonso shares Aston Martin update and explains nerve damage risk at Australian Grand Prix. I think I've already covered most of that in the video. GP blog, don't usually take what they say because they're a bit clickbaity. BBC, God, do we trust them? Not really. Just talking about nerve damage again, which I've already covered. Right, what's this from Autosport? FIA cuts recoverable energy in F1 qualifying to stop extreme tactics. Melbourne is a critical F1 race in terms of energy management, and the FIA has decided to intervene with a new cap on recoverable energy available in qualifying in the Grand Prix. Energy management is at the centre of the Formula 1 technical regulations. The decision to triple the power of the MGU-K compared to last year, but without the MGU-H, and with a battery whose capacity has remained unchanged, has presented the teams with a very complex challenge. Even on a single qualifying lap, understanding where and how to deploy the energy requires detailed study. Having 350 kilowatts available with the same battery capacity means that, especially on demanding tracks like Melbourne, drivers risk running out of energy on the straights if it is managed incorrectly. In the race, this scenario will be almost inevitable, but in qualifying, the situation is different. The FIA was aware that on some circuits there was a risk that drivers, in order to recover energy, might avoid pushing at maximum, for example by lifting off the throttle early to maximise battery recharge. In certain situations, it would actually be more advantageous to lose a few kilometres at the end of the straights, where aerodynamic drag matters more than pure power, to recharge rather than continue pushing and end up with an empty battery. The underlying idea is simple: sacrifice something in areas that are already high speed, where the time lost is limited, in order to recover energy to use in later sections. If carefully studied, this compromise could still guarantee a lap time advantage. The problem is that there was a risk of seeing these extreme tactics repeated continuously, even in qualifying, which would instead be the moment when drivers should truly push to the maximum. For this reason, an article was inserted in the regulations a few months ago, allowing the FIA to further reduce the limit of recoverable energy during a qualifying lap, discouraging drivers from using lift and coast even on a flying lap. This clause has already been activated by the governing body in Melbourne, one of the most demanding tracks in terms of energy management, because almost 70% of the lap is spent at full throttle, with relatively few braking zones. For the race, the FIA has decided to lower the recharge limit from 8.5 to 8 mgs per lap, while it will remain unchanged in free practice, where it will stay at the maximum permitted by the regulations. So there you go. They're stopping them from doing the old lift and coast, which I think is a good decision, because you don't want to be doing lift and coast on a qualifying lap. That's ridiculous. The whole point of qualifying is to go as fast as you can, not lifting just to save energy. So yeah, that's a good decision there. Right, what else have we got? Bahrain and Saudi, we know about that. It still hasn't been announced yet though. That's about it. That's about it. I was expecting a little bit more of an excitement level, because isn't it all starts tomorrow? But yeah. It's not quite there, is it? Pit strategies were something else back then. Yes, they were. I wonder what other circuits there are in our country. I only know Silverstone and Brands Hatch. Well, BBC for F1 news is decent. It's everything else. That's true. I don't know. Is Aintree British? Yes, it is. Shame. Yes. If it weren't for the dates, 2 races at Austria would have been an alright option. Solid. Donington is British. Alton Park, yes. There's that many circuits in the world. I don't know what other circuits I want them to return to. I don't know if it will. I don't know if it will. If the batteries drain, that might too. It's the Aston Martin shit show of armour. Yes. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Yes. Right, well, everyone else has been doing this, so I'm going to do it now. It's my predictions for 2026. Here are the drivers. I've got to get rid of the chat for a minute. I'll get rid of the chat for a minute. Right, so here are the drivers. Here are my predictions. Where shall we start? Let's start at the bottom. Williams. How are Williams going to do? I think they're probably going to have about the same kind of year that they had last year, to be fair. I don't see them making any big strides. I think Alexander and Carlos are going to be quite evenly matched like they were last year. And the performance level of the Williams, I don't see making huge strides. I think they'll be impressive in certain races, but I just don't see them being up there. So Williams, I'm going to put in pretty much the same position that they were last year. I can't remember where they finished last year, but I'll leave them where they are. So we've got, I don't know why they put them all the way down here. We've got, of course, Red Bull. The complete unknowns. Nobody knows the performance level of the Red Bulls, to be honest. Now, Max, as usual, is going to push the car to way beyond its limits, even if it's not a great car. And, of course, this year we've got Isaac Hajar as his teammate. Now, we finally going to get a decent number 2 teammate for Max. Or is he going to be another Yuki Tsunoda? We will find out. He's definitely stronger than Yuki, I do believe. So I'm hoping that he's going to be a lot closer to Max this year as a teammate, because the one thing that's hurting Red Bull is the lack of teammate. That's why they're losing Constructors' Championships, purely because their teammate is no good. So, how are they going to do, though? How are they going to do? Well, I think they're going to be pretty up there, but I don't think they're going to be world champion potentials. But I think they are going to be up there fighting with the Mercedes and the McLarens, but I don't think they're going to have the total potential. From what I hear, any car that's got a Mercedes in the back of it is going to be doing very well this year. That's what I hear. So we will have to wait and see. So as I say, I think they're going to do well, but I don't think they're going to be World Championship material. The Racing Bulls, Liam Lawson and Avid Lindbard, I think are going to pretty much do the same as what they did last year as well. I can't see any big improvements from there, to be honest. So I think they'll probably end up the same. Right. Now we've got George of the Russell and Kimi Antonelli at Mercedes. Now, a lot of people are saying that the Mercedes are going to be the world champions this year. Apparently that car is spot on. Spot on. So are they going to be the world champions this year? We will see. George Russell has got potential, but he never really seems to show it. Ever since his debut, when he replaced Lewis Hamilton, because I think he had COVID, didn't he? And we all know how disastrous that race turned out. But he showed a lot of potential. But ever since then, he hasn't really, in my opinion, showed the hype and the potential that he was bigged up to be. He was going to be the big Lewis Hamilton replacement, but it hasn't really come to fruition. So maybe this year he's going to show us just what he really can do and win the championship. Then we've got Kimi Antonelli, which people have been telling me who watch Drive to Survive, because I don't watch it, that he's a completely wet sock. Yes, it's Kimi Antonelli. I still believe that he was put into Formula One maybe 2 or 3 years too early. I think they should have, because he's still only 19 years old. I think they should have waited a few years before they put him in like a top car. But that's their decisions, isn't it? At the end of the day. But I think he'll be pretty decent. I don't think he'll be anywhere near George Russell though. And now, of course, we've got the world champions of last year, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Of course, they too have got a Mercedes engine in the back of their cars, so they are expected to do very well indeed. But I just don't see them winning the championship this year. I think the competition and the fact that everything's been reset as well, I don't think that they're going to win it this year. I think they'll be up there, but I don't think they're going to win it. Lando will be the same as he always is. Bottle job, chief. Bottle job, bottle job, bottle job. And Oscar's Piastri will be still complaining that he's a number 2 but not doing anything about it. So, yeah, I think they're going to be the same. On to Haas now. We've got Esti Besti and Oliver Behrman. Now, Haas had quite a good season last year. I expect them to improve a little bit. I don't think they'll be up there fighting with the leaders, but I expect them to improve a little bit and be slightly better than last year. There's a solid pairing of drivers there with Behrman and Ocon. So I'm expecting some pretty decent things from them. Where's Alpine? Oh, it's up there. So there you go. And now we come on to Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton. What can we say about poor little Lulu? Is he going to win his 8th championship? No, don't be silly. But is he going to do a lot better? I think he's going to do a lot better. But I still think he's going to be behind Charles Leclerc. But I think he's going to have a solid season. But he really needs to look within himself now and decide whether he wants to carry on or whether he wants to retire. He really does. So I think they'll be solid. And I do also feel the Ferraris will be up there. I don't think they're going to win the championship, but I think they'll be up there. Obviously, someone's out of this lot's got to win, but I don't know. Not quite sure. And now we've got Cadillac. The greatest white elephants of the current Formula One grid. We've got Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas. 2 old hands at the wheel. Yes. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't understand the logic. I can understand having one old stager. I would have picked Sergio Perez. I understood that. But they should have had a young charger as the second driver. Because he would have been the one constantly pushing to get faster and faster. Valtteri doesn't care about going faster. Valtteri doesn't care about anything, does he? He didn't care when he went to Sauber, did he, for 3 years? He just took the money and ran. So I think it's a bad decision to have Valtteri in the team. I just don't see any performance coming from this Cadillac in their first year in Formula One. None at all. And then we come to Audi with Nico Hülkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto. Early reports, unfortunately, are that the Audi is not very good. It's not very fast. So, yeah, this could be a bad debut year for Audi. Of course, only for Audi because they were Sauber last year, but still could be a bad debut year for them. So we will have to see what happens with Audi. But I'm predicting they're going to be midfield runners. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. I think Cadillac will be near the back, and I think Audi will be midfield runners. So on to, of course, Aston Martin. We've already heard the problems. How are they going to do? Well, I can't really speculate because we don't know what's happening. But I think Aston Martin, if they have got as many problems as they say they've got, I think they're going to have a pretty terrible season. I think they will pull it back. Sort of maybe halfway through the season they may improve, but I'm pretty sure it could be game over for Aston before they've even started the season, to be honest. But there we go. And then we got Alpine for the last drivers of 2026. Pierre Gasly and Franco Colapinto. Yes. A lot of people are tipping this team to do well this year because, of course, they have got Mercedes engines in the back of their car. So it's possible they could pull something quite special at the bag. I'm not saying they're going to win the championship. That would be outrageous. But they could end up as pretty decent midfield runners at the end of the season. We will have to find out, though. We will have to find out what happens between them all. So, of course, out of all this lot, I've got to pick world champion. World champion. Wow, what a decision. What a decision. Who do I think is going to be the world champion? And don't forget, they haven't turned a wheel in anger yet. So this is a pure speculative decision. Oh, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I'm going to go for George Russell. There you go. There's my absolute early prediction for the 2026 season. I'm going to say George Russell for world champion at the end. There you go. We will see what happens at the end, of course. But yeah, that's my prediction. George of the Russell, world champion at the end of the 2026 season. That's what I reckon anyway. Of course, I could be talking total honk like I usually do, but we will find out when the season is finished at the end. But yeah, that's my prediction. George Russell, world champion, 2026. There you go. Sebastian Vettel comes back in Abu Dhabi and Brazil to just about win 2012. Yes. I would like a Hawaiian Grand Prix. Sainz will start to beat Albon more regularly. I would like a Norwegian Grand Prix. Hajar to cry to Canal Plus regularly, yes. Hajar will be dumped mid-season, says his sisters. Wowzers, really. I would like a Danish Grand Prix. Best you're going to get is a Finnish Grand Prix, Shane. That's true. Ferrari being half a second clear of the other teams may be a bad sign for them. Verstappen is going to make a shitboxer god, yes. Like he always does. I heard in the 1970s there was a Swedish Grand Prix. Yeah, I do believe there was. Verstappen will go winless this season, says the Sisters. Yeah, I think you could be right there as well. Anderstorp, yes, says Helium Trophy. It had the infamous Brabham fan car. Oh, yes, I remember that. Lol, the only distraction for Verstappen's form this season is him doing some other team race with Alonso and Vettel or something. Are you talking to me? On the Swedish Grand Prix, yes. I would like an Icelandic Grand Prix. Speaking of wet socks. I thought you were, but what did you mean, Anderstorp? That was the name of the track. On the name of the F1 track raced in Sweden in the 1970s. Yeah, that's what it was called. The track's still there, but it's not in use that much. Bottas won't score a point this season. Wow, shock news. Really? Really? He won't? I think I remember now that was the track was called. I've been looking at it up on the internet. I wasn't born in the 1970s because I was born in 1998. Well, they do have a young charger. He just doesn't have the required point to drive the F1 car, so Bottas is a placeholder. Oh, really? I see. I see. I wasn't either, Shane, but I would read up a lot on the past. It was great reading up all the mad bastards that F1 threw up. Plumstead for the worst luck of his career. Get Jonathan Wass on this all-seasons rubbish. Yes, absolutely. I would read up a lot in the past, like I always hear about the history of things, like the history of Formula 1, like the first Formula 1 season started in 1950. For Wast, for Huawei, Williams and Weno, McCowan, Wandle. We need an Iranian Grand Prix. No, I think we need to pass on that one. Mind you, they could probably build one now. Leave it, Dave. Leave it, Dave. Leave it, Dave. Leave it. We need a North Korean Grand Prix. Yes, we do. Yes, we do need a North Korean Grand Prix. Yes. Hosted by Kim Jong-il, or whatever his name is. Yes, I'd love that. The Israelis would highly contest this Grand Prix. Yes. Mid-race missiles. Oh dear. Oh dear. What do you think of the Hawaiian Grand Prix? I think that's a good idea. I love Hawaii. I used to love watching that TV show Hawaii 5-0 just to watch the scenery, basically, because it's got some beautiful scenery. Hawaii has got the best scenery. Yes, absolutely. So I think a Grand Prix at Hawaii would be a great idea. I don't know if there is any circuits in Hawaii, is there? I've not heard of any. I don't think there is any sort of like racing circuits. There might be some go-kart circuits and stuff like that, but I don't think there's an actual racing circuit in Hawaii. I may be wrong. Because don't forget, I only follow Formula 1. But as far as I know, I don't think there is any. We need a South Korean Grand Prix again. What at Yin Yang Wigwam? Couldn't give a damn. Yes. I only remember the South Korean Grand Prix because Webber crashed, and in 2012, PSY was there. Yes. Yes. South Korea. I actually liked that circuit. It wasn't too bad. It was very unusual. I liked the layout of that circuit, so it wasn't too bad at all. Wasn't too bad at all. Right, so there we go. I think we've just about covered everything, because I will be back over the weekend, because there'll be possibly lots of F1 news, and I'll be back for the results as well and everything else. Yes. So let's get on with the top fans. Now, unfortunately, I keep getting copyright matched for that music that I use. Bring back the Malaysian Grand Prix. Yes. Yeah, Hawaiian Grand Prix, which will be an F1 race in Hawaii. Yes. Beautiful. Now, unfortunately, I keep getting copyright matched for that music that I use. You know, the Pick of the Pops music. So I can't use it anymore. No. Because it's a pain, because I actually block the video until I unmatch it. So yeah, we can't use it anymore. So I might have to sing it myself. Yes, I might have to sing it myself. Anyway, we're going to go straight into the top fans now. We're not going to do any of that spamming nonsense this year. Okay, we're going to go straight into. Is there something from the YouTube music like? There could be. I mean, I've got my own music that I could use. But I don't know where it is. But I've got my own music that I could use, which is there's a lot of copyright free on it. So I just didn't prepare before this stream to actually do it. But let's just see if I can. Where are you? There you are. Dee, 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 dee. Let's see what we can find quickly. Adventures. Let's see what that one sounds like. Nah. No, hang on a minute. Let me see if I can find my. Boo, 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 boo. Here we are. This is free. Hello again. Thank Christ. To be honest, I've not paid attention to the top fans. If there isn't any circus in Hawaii that could build one for Formula 1 to race on. Still, I'll concede this one. Shane's a worthy winner this week. Two become one. The perfect soundtrack. Just to think, I don't see why Formula 1 doesn't want to race in Hawaii. Like, Hawaii is part of America. Well, which Grand Prix would you strike off the list to get a Hawaiian Grand Prix? Probably because there's only 54 races on the calendar, Shane. Yes. And there have 3 American races. Oversaturation of the market. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Right, let's cover over the chat now. And we'll do the top fans. Music, please. Okay, I've hit the button for the top fans. Right, here we go. So, where is it? Where is it? Come on. There we go. At number 8, we've got Daniels 7052. At number 7, it's the Lionel Plessy himself. At number 6, it is the Real Sporting Perspective. Number 5, it's Will F1. At number 4, it's the Helium Trophy. So the top 3 top fans for this week on the show. In 3rd place it is it's the Scissor Sisters, which means in 2nd place it is it's Mr. Regara, which means the winner of top fans this week is Shane. Well done to Shane for winning top fans this week. Well done indeed. You've done it, Shane. You are this week's top fans. There you go. There you go. Yes, Shane. Don't you mean 24 races? He's exaggerated, not by much. Here goes. Fucking hell, this music is wet. Yes, it is. Yes, I've won. Daniel's gets a point. I can't believe I've won. Yes. Only 20 minutes late this time, so fourth is good. Regardless of a much better start than last year. Congratulations to Shane, it's been coming. Yes. Congratulations, Shane. Yes. He was second the last 5 shows. Thoroughly deserved. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So there you go, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight on the show. First one back of the new F1 season. I will be around, of course, to report on what's going on. Hopefully there'll be a lot to report on because I think it's going to be a shit show and I love it. Thank you, David Serpi. I've won. Well done, Shane. Well done. Do you know what? Before I go, I've just realised something. There's someone I haven't introduced. It's TB the Bear. Oh my goodness, how could we forget TB? Oh, wowzers, me trousers. How could we forget TB the Bear? Everyone's favourite bear. Yes, indeed. Oh, have you had a nice hibernation, TB? He says, yes, it was very pleasant, thank you. Now, who's going to win this year's World Championship, TV? Who? Lewis Hamilton? Never heard of him. Never heard of him. No, what does he do? What does he do? Drives for Ferrari? Does he really? No, I can't say I've heard of him, mate. I don't think he's going to do very well. No, I'm tipping George of the Russell. George of the Russell. He's a posh twat. I think that's very grossly unfair. Whatever gives you... And he splits all the drivers over the radio. Does he? No, you can't mention it. You're right. He is a posh twat. And he does split all the drivers over the radio. I wonder if he was head boy at school. Do you reckon he was? Yeah, I reckon he was as well. Posh twat. Shall we vote for Lewis Hamilton then? He wants Lewis Hamilton. Okay then. I'm predicting Lewis Hamilton World Champion 2026. Not really. Not really. Yes, yes, Lewis Hamilton. God, I'll tell you what. TB's looking a bit thin in his hibernation. You need to get some food inside you, mate, don't you? Get some food inside you. Yes. Yes, indeed. TB's excited. He's excited. And not only excited, he's still bloody naked. It's all your fault, Will F1. It's your fault he's naked, you know. You're the one that's made him like this. He's spent all winter now freezing to death because he ain't got no clothes to put on. Poor TB. Poor TB. Poor TB. Anyway, let's put you back now. You can go back to sleep till next week. Bye-bye. The goat on the podium to start off. Oh dear, we forgot TB. Petty picks up points as you... Yes, we did forget TB. Well, I forgot TB. I should have started at the start of the show with TB, but there you go. There you go, everyone. Anyway, thank you, everyone. You have been awesome, as always. And yes, of course, as I say, I'll be around. I'll be around. Hopefully, it'll be a good Monday episode where I shall be looking at the shit show that was Formula One. So it should be a good episode. Don't worry, he's been around the circuit with the female bears, keeping him what he has. Yes, dirty little bear. Dirty little bugger. Dirty little bugger. Yes, dirty little bugger. Aren't you, TB? You're a dirty little bugger, aren't you, TB? Yes, he says he is. He is. What's that? Do I want to see your penis? Not really, mate. No, it's not my thing. No, it's not my... I'm sure you haven't even got one. I think you're lying to everyone. You keep saying it's... Well, I can't see anything there, mate. Can anyone see his peak? Because I can't see it. I think he's like, there's nothing there, is there? Look, there's nothing. There's nothing there, mate. There's nothing. I'm sure I can't see a thing there. It's got, well, I don't know. Hang on a minute. Is that it? All right, don't look so happy. Is that it? Oh, it's tiny, mate, isn't it? It's tiny. I'm not repeating that on the stream. Blimey. Okay, I'll let you off. He has got a penis. He has. It's very, very small. Very, very small. But it is there. Just about see it. Oh my goodness. Dirty little bear. Dirty little bear. Aren't you? Let's put him back now. Cheers, guys. Good start. Yes. Thanks, everyone, for joining me tonight on the stream. Let's just go back to the top fans so I can thank you there. Mr. Daniels was in. Planoplexy, Real Sporting Perspective. That's Matt, of course. Will, Helium Trophy, Scissor Sisters, Mr. Regara, and Shane as well. You have been awesome, as always. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy Formula 1 at the weekend, because I think it's going to be well worth enjoying. But not for the good reasons, no. Anyway, thank you, everyone. I will catch you later. He just wants to get back. Yes. Yes. Thanks, everyone. I will